Why, hello there. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, January 25th. And yes, just like yesterday, today, there are sports. We're going to talk about NHL. We're going to talk about college basketball, which had a pretty good day yesterday. And we're going to talk about the work I've done on the NBA macro version. We're actually going to test out the macro. I have prepared a proof of concept macro. It is not fully coded yet, but it is helpful in testing some combinations. And we're going to see how yesterday did and talk about today. And we're going to do it in podcast form. And we're also going to talk about gambling. Yes, we're going to talk about gambling today. So basically, I got a text message this morning, and this happens once in a while, and it's like, hey, algorithm crushed you yesterday, Ken. I keep winning. And I'm like, great, please tell me what you're doing because I keep losing. I keep losing. This is sort of what yesterday looked like. It's not exactly. I'd have to show you the Google sheet to see exactly what it was because it changes slightly as we get new stats in here. A couple things like we had Kansas State on the other side of this that lost. We had Ohio State on the other side of this that lost. Um, I, of course, bet DePaul and lost because that's all I do. I bet Tulsa because East Carolina was injured and Tulsa led in the beginning and then lost. But there was a lot of other winning. Most of this is accurate. And definitely the home teams, they did not go 18-0 because we had something else in here, I think. But the ones above 10% margin did all win. All these teams were there and they all won. Um, and so I preface this by saying I want to talk about gambling because I have a gambling problem. I know this. I have a gambling. I want to bet a bunch of different picks and I want to get paid like 100-1. And that happens once every like 2 or 3 months. And when it happens, you hear about it from me. And I'm like, oh, I won $4,000 yesterday on a $37 bet. And then you don't hear from me the next 60 days when I lose every single day. And I was like, I it's too I thought I used to find it fun. Now I find it annoying because I'm like, man, I should be hitting more every day with all the algorithms. And the truth is I don't listen to them. And because if you listen to them, then you end up adopting a philosophy that is one of not necessarily as much of a gambler and more of an information investor because you look for things that are up at the top and you just bet them at their terrible lines and their mindless because they win. And I'll set up a little formula to show profit. I used to have profit in here. Did I get rid of profit? I used to have profit on a $1 bet. I think I removed that. But you can write that formula fairly quickly to kind of show you what I'm talking about, which is you're saying, if the game wins, there's a formula for figuring out. I definitely have it in one of these. Hold on a second. Let me find this formula. I definitely have this formula somewhere. Did I remove profit from every single one of my algorithms? I'm a bad human being. Did I do that? I used to all right, well, we're just going to write out the code then because I don't have it saved in one of these. I have to go to an older version. Let me show you what I'm talking about, which is, all right, ready? We're going to write some arguments in Excel. Let's learn. It's about education. I agree with you. It is about education. So how do you figure out if this game was profitable and whether or not it won or lost based on the money line? Meaning, if you bet on Toledo to win, they were minus 2,500. That's awful. But let's say equals. First of all, if this is a loss, this is an easy one. Equal sign, quotation marks, loss. If it's a loss, then -1 is our profit, meaning we lost $1. We're assuming we bet $1 on every game. If it's not a loss, okay, if it's not a loss, then you got more ifs. If and this thing is a win, equal sign, win. It's a win. And on top of that, if this number is less than 0, if it's a negative number, okay, that means it's one of these negative lines. That means that you have to do a little formula to figure out what your payout is. It's going to be, okay, so those two things are true, meaning it's a win and the line was negative, minus 2,500 or something. If those two things are true, Then we need to do negative, I think it's negative 100 divided by this number. And that will get you a percentage, and we're timesing it by 1. That should be your profit. I'm pretty sure. We're going to check in a second. Okay. That's the first thing you do. Then if the other instance is true, okay, which is this and, which is saying this and is a win, and the number here is greater than 0, okay, greater than 0. That means it's a positive line, like this 100 or this 210. Then what you do is you close that and then you say it's this number divided by 100 is what your payout is. Plus 1. If I remember correctly, right? Because you got to add the $1. Because if you win 100 divided by 100 is 1. So it means you won $1 plus the 1 that you had originally. Although we're just looking for profit, so we don't put the 2 there. No, we don't add the 1. We just do that. That's our profit. All right, I think we're done. Let's see. You've entered too many arguments. Of course I have. Of course I have, because I missed a parenthesis somewhere probably. If this is loss, all right, we're gonna diagnose what we did. If this is a loss, it's a -1. That's fine. There's the if and here that needs to be closed off. What is there, an extra parentheses we need? No, we did that, right? What's going on? Is this the last false? No, it's not. I screwed something up here. Oh yeah, we forgot this. If and. I think we're good now. Parentheses. Yeah, that'll do it. So that's 4 cents that you win. All right, we're gonna shrink this to make this really easy to read. I want to leave the margin on there though. So here's what we're doing. So we're finding out how profitable it is just to bet the money lines on these games. We pull this formula down. Yep, that works. And then we can have, so this is your net profit or loss on the game if you bet $1. And then this will be your running total. It's going to be this. And then it's equals, this is my favorite formula to do, that plus that, and pull it down. What's above you plus what's to your left, and pull it down. And that's your running profit. Now, we're going to color code our running profit to see where we go unprofitable, if we go unprofitable, and where our highest level of profit is, which will be the most green. We need to get rid of that. So now, like I said, this looked a little bit different yesterday. So you lost some things with Kansas State. I almost want to put like a negative home bump in there to show you what it looked like yesterday, because that's kind of what happened. Let's go with that. Yeah, it was more like this. We had Ohio State and we also had Kansas State. So this is about exactly what it looked like yesterday, I think. Very, very close. So you can see now here, where are we profitable? Notice you actually unprofitable if you bet on Kent State. But it takes you a long time to get profitable again. You have to go all the way down to the 5th game. You have to win Toledo, Miami, Boise, and Missouri, all to make that money back from losing on Kent State. And you can see that the profit levels, which we can also colorize, are also going to show you where which games were most profitable. Are going to be the most green. So like this Missouri stick pick was a really good pick. But let's go back to 0% because this is actually more realistic. So you can see that betting on games just straight down the list, if you are an idiot like I am clearly a moron. I've been doing this for years and I have never lost more money on sports than I've lost in the past 3 months. And that's when I've been doing this the most. So I clearly have a problem. So to be able to look back at, well, why am I losing when you're staring at winning? And the answer is because these are the number of units that you're profiting right over here. And even on an unbelievably incredible day, you could only expect like 6 or 9 units, right? So to bet only the home games, which is kind of what you should do. I know you go 18-0, but you're not always going to do that. You still only make 5 units betting on them. And I didn't bet enough money to make that worthwhile, but I guess we should just go by the math and stop putting emotions into this, because I'd rather just bet this in the morning and then just completely not even pay attention to it until I wake up the next morning and see how they did. And it's not going to be a giant fluctuation in profit, but you have to remove the gambler from your psyche in order to do this right, is what I'm realizing. So that the point of that is, let's look at today. All right. We don't have any games done yet, but I'm just going to actually do this. I'm actually going to do this for $1. We're going to be really, really, really low betting and low energy. And that's what we're going to do. So you've got a bunch of games here. And there are a surprising number of away dogs on here as well. Now, I want to keep it super, super, super simple, which is bet everything on here. Bet like $1 on all these games. I mean, how many are there? 36 games. Just bet $1 on 36 games and then see what happens to your balance and see if it's more than $36 at the end of the day. Because of course you could vary the amount. You could bet $100 on every one of these games if you are convinced that long-term this is really profitable. And I don't necessarily know if it will be profitable betting on every one of them. I know that betting on every home team will be profitable. So maybe we'll just do these. Because away teams are iffy and win and lose sometimes. Maybe you take the underdogs, maybe you don't. It starts to get complicated. But if you're talking about just teams that are going to win, be careful with Temple's injuries against South Florida. And these aren't worth it because of the injuries here. So I'm tempted to stay away from these ridiculous ones. But all the other ones, that's Asheville, Duquesne, Western Carolina. I'll even bet minus 750 Stephen F. Austin. I guess I'll do it because they're supposed to win and you're trying to take that small percentage profit every day. I'll bet all these for $1. 16 of them. And I'll tell you how it went. Stay away from Temple. 15 of them. Yeah. There's definitely $15 in my future betting on this. I'm okay with that today. So we'll do that, and we'll just start doing that every single day with this $1, this $15 we started with, and we'll see if this is long-term profitable. I mean, I can follow that every day. So that's college basketball. There are a bunch of away teams here too. And I'm tempted to bet $1 on all these also. All these dogs. Anyway, all right. That's college basketball. Let's go to hockey. We did some work. Hockey had a great day yesterday, and I lost. It went 8-3. Guess which 3 teams I had? I had Winnipeg because I told everybody to take Winnipeg. Said they were the number 1 pick of the day. They blew a 1-0 lead, lost the game to Nashville because anything that comes out of my mouth is the curse of death. I am a Washington fan. I fell asleep and didn't even watch the game. They were down 1-0, and apparently they never led, and they lost. And the algorithm, of course, is better than me. It had slightly percentage favoring Washington here, but it was telling you super close game. And I bet Arizona. I don't know. Mullet Arena? Nope. They need to trim the back hair off of Mullet Arena. Arizona loses to an awful Anaheim team. But everything else won. So if you took Boston to cover, you win. After they were down 1-0 because they're such a great team. I took Tampa Bay, actually. I did win that bet. I didn't bet this game. Of course, algorithm predicts almost the exact score. This game, I took Florida, and they lost. They led 4 different times in this game, or 3 different times in this game. I think they led, and they lost. I didn't take an exact score predictor here. Almost. Didn't do that. I took New Jersey, and they won. They came back and won. There's an exact score prediction right there. Good job for New Jersey. I didn't take Buffalo. I missed this game. This is almost the exact score. I didn't even mention the game in the video yesterday. And they were an underdog. What was that? How did I miss this? It's because it was something I would have said to take that one. That's why I missed it yesterday. So art imitates life every day. Let's talk about today. We've just got expected goaltenders. Don't listen to me. Just listen to the algorithm. Yeah, Edmonton's supposed to beat Columbus. Not surprising. 5 goals. Betting on your players to score goals for Edmonton, like McDavid and Draisaitl and stuff like that. I had someone Tanner, who is into betting on players to score goals. That is kind of a fun thing to do as you're watching a game, because, if you know that you have a feeling that Edmonton's going to score a lot of goals, this game, and apparently as well the Seattle game, it's predicting high scoring goals. So players that are going to score goals, you want to pluck them off of the Seattle and Edmonton team, and maybe even Vancouver, because Vancouver did, with a new coach, crush it last night. 5-2, right? Yep. So now it's Chicago, and Chicago's not a good team. Seattle's a better team. So, but there could be goals in this game because you're probably going to get a lot of effort out, or maybe Vancouver's defense will pipe up and try to stop Seattle. Could be, it's a tough call actually with that. I'd be careful actually now I think about that, because Vancouver, definitely those players are playing for spots with Tocchet as the coach now. So it's really Edmonton goal scorers, and the Edmonton line is awful, but it says they cover. So there you go. Then of course you got Seattle also. Now that is a terrible line for Seattle, given Vancouver as a new coach. It's a great line. I'm gonna probably bet Vancouver because I'm a masochist. There you go. Next, 3, Carolina over Dallas. It says slightly, but it disagrees with the win score percentage, and that's because, or the adjusted power. It's because Carolina's been playing really well. So this game extremely difficult also, and that's why the lines are even. 4 and 7 here. We got Toronto over the Rangers. Rangers blew out somebody, Florida, 2 days ago. Neither back-to-back game says that with Matt Murray in net. Look at the 66s here. I would expect more goals here. Why? Well, maybe not. Yeah, don't listen to me. So it says it's a tie that goes to Toronto, but I've always said Toronto likes to lose games. Then you have the Islanders and the Ottawa. This one seems more stable, even though it's the 5th pick. It says the Islanders at 105 win this game by score, by adjusted power. They're not playing well, though, but neither's Ottawa. So in a battle of 2 bad teams, it's probably the better team here, especially at the 105. And you got a better goalie. So you're better all across, even though they have been playing awful in the last 2 weeks. So if you can identify why that's happening. See, both these teams have the lowest power ratings, combined power ratings of any of the teams here. This number over here that I don't really talk about often, the power streak rating, this is what makes the NHL algorithm better than just the raw stats. It compares the raw comparison of the game and the goalie comparison, which matters because this is a game of goals, and low scoring game is a low scoring sport in hockey. And it matters how good the goalies are, because if you have a bad goalie behind you, you might score some goals and then give up a bad one. It demoralizes the team, and it matters what these goalie ratings are. So anyway, this power streak rating combines all 3 things into this. This is just weird ways that I program stuff. There's no book you can read to figure out how to do this. The formulas that I write up here are just like, I look at what's going on color-wise, and I try to connect it into something that makes sense logically. And so I say, well, if the goalie differential percentage matters, then in this situation, you do this. Another reason why you take the Islanders. They have a better goalie, better line, better adjusted power, which is all the team stats, better projected score, which is independent from those other factors a lot of times here. And the only thing that's bad is that they're not streaking well. And so the not streaking well makes this a 52 to 52% adjusted power combined rating game, meaning it's flat even, but all those other factors are favoring the Islanders. So it says that the Islanders are empirically a better team and should win and have a better goalie. Well, for some reason, they're playing like crap. So be careful with them because they're playing like crap, but so's Ottawa. So that's why I'm really talking myself into this being almost the pick of the day, because it's a 105. And why would Ottawa win this game? If the balances don't go the way for the Islanders, then they win the game, and that's hockey. There's nothing you can do about that, but 3 out of 4 times it looks like, in my opinion here, because of the 3 out of 4 stats that it's better than, the Islanders win this game. It's a long-winded description of all the things that are going on here in the NHL algorithm. It also gives you some insight into, like, look at this massive disparity here, 137 to 55. Like, this really should be a blowout. And Edmonton likes to score, right? So just another way to look at things in here. All right, now that's hockey for the day. Now I'm going to talk about NBA. We're actually going to test out something in NBA. So I've been working on this macro, and the macro is going to compile all the season's historical results, which I've got almost every game. I don't have every game. I got almost every game. I'm missing a few, but you can see October, November, missed a few in November, I think, and then December, and I missed a few in December. But we've got a lot of games in here, right? And every single day I record the predictions and I record the results, okay, which I did for yesterday. So when you look at yesterday, it looks like this, but this is not what it looked like yesterday. It's really, I have to may say caveat here. NBA is not predicting right now because I'm testing out a bunch of stuff and I don't know what to use. So we can't really trust NBA right now, but we can learn from NBA. So under combination 1, this record was terrible. Under combination 2, it was also bad. All right. Now here's what's going on. Watch this. So I have something called the testing cube, which has all those history of games for 10 different combinations of percentages of standings. I know what I said just was a lot of words, but there's different combinations of standing stats, which are these things that we're using to figure out what the best distribution is for predicting NBA games. Like you can put a different number in any one of these cells and wins or losses will be weighted differently. Points per game will be weighted differently. Any of these things will be weighted differently. So I built this huge combination testing thing, which I'm still working on. All right. But here's what we have. So we have all the results. We're going to get rid of them. Just got rid of all of them. All right. So now we have nothing. We refresh our compare pivot. We got nothing. Okay. There's nothing here. Well, let's back up for a second. We want to add all the results. Watch this. I think this will work. So where do we go? We're going to go. I think we need to start. Well, whatever. We're going to go to view macro. View macro. I think you'll be able to see the screen, but we'll see. We're going to run this macro, I bet. Let's see what happens. Boom. Boom. Things are happening. Screens are changing. It's if you have Tourette's syndrome, not Tourette's, no, if you are susceptible to seizures, don't look at the screen 5 seconds ago. Stuff happened. I think it did it. It did it. It just grabbed all the different, the first 10 combinations. Combo here. Combo 1 through combo 10. It did it. All right. So it only goes up to 10 for now. I haven't set it up for the full 500 or 1,000. I haven't written the automatic code to make it go down as far as we want it to go down. It just did 10. But guess what? Let's refresh. And we're back. And what happened? All the things changed, and now we understand which combination does the best. For the entire season, combination number 2 has done the best. Well, what about yesterday being the 24th? Yesterday, combination 6 and 8 did the best. They both went 4 and 3. Let's go look at those. Combination 6 was this one. It goes 3 and 4, it says, not 4 and 3. What? Oh, because I did it by margin and not by score prediction. Ooh, crap. Just realized something. I got to do work. All right, that's the end of the video, guys. Good luck. NBA is not ready yet, as you can tell. May all your picks be winning.